All right, problem 6.7 is an optional in millimeters. Part origin is located at the center of the top slot. So front plane will be passing through right plane going from lower left, upper right. This is just kind of a reverse to show you the end geometry. Don't know that this needs a revolve. We could do bus and another bus from the end, but we'll go ahead and stay with the revolve. So new part millimeter front plane sketch. So I turned off the sketch numeric input. So I'm going to leave that off for a couple just to see. But since I mentioned it, let's go ahead and right click. And if you toggle it back on with your settings and the options the way that you want them, then you can enter the values as you go. So we're going into the slot. It is a center. So since we're starting at the origin and going out some distance, I'm doing the click click. As soon as you click the second point, you can drag the rest of the slot. So smart dimension, we have the outside at 14. So we'll put in that value. The overall is 22, so we need the max condition. So I'm going to hold down the shift. Well, that got the midpoint, so I'm not sure that counts. So let me escape because that's a little weird. All right, so if I don't hold down the shift, it goes from center point to center point. Either have to do the math or we have to select the dimension after the fact to go in and make that change. 22. All right, so let's escape, highlight the dimension, go into the leaders, scroll all the way to the bottom, and notice that the arc in conditions are at the max. All right, so we highlight and then go into our offset. We're going to reverse the direction. It doesn't like the reverse because there's not enough room, but once we put in the 3 millimeters, we should see the preview. And then that goes okay. It is across the front plane, so we'll switch into extruded. We're still mid plane from our last feature. And that thickness is 15. And we go ahead and accept. All right, on the bottom geometry then, if we were doing the boss, I slipped into the boss, but looking at that, I think that geometry for, what did they do there? No, 11. So let's see if that actually works out to be 11. That's only 8 millimeters across. So one of the reasons we would want to do the revolve then is we can overlap and make sure that we overrun where that arc is climbing away from our geometry. So in the front plane, we'll open up the sketch. Now, if we did this as a boss extrude, we could go both directions, and the other direction would be up to next so that it could find that contour. But we do this as a revolve. We go to infinite length. We already picked for construction, vertical. Yeah, I kind of did those out of order, but we'll stay with that. So I'm going to start up here somewhere. I know that it's going to overlap into the geometry, and this time, since I slipped into click click, I'm going to go ahead and close it off. All right, so for the lengths, we have from the center point overall is 52. And then we have 7 for the end. And then our diameters are going to be 11. And notice that the bottom went into fully defined even though we didn't place anything. So it's showing coincident, and if we scroll out, it's coincident to the center point up here. It inferred that. I don't want that relation, so with it highlighted, or we highlight the object and then we'll see the coincident over here. Either one of those will allow us to delete it go back into our smart dimension and apply the 5 millimeters that we actually do want. All right, so it's not much climbing up that edge, but it's easy to leave that little fingernail sliver that, nope, and it's not a cut, it's a boss. So let's go ahead and finish it as a boss. And then we have to follow the fillet of 2 around. So let's go ahead and put in the 2 and go ahead and accept. So it found its way all the way around. We have our geometry. The shape then produces 6049. So let's go ahead and save this. P6-7. And we're looking for 6049 mass properties, and we got 6049.